Hey YouTube, so I think I'm a little bit more calmed down now. Um, boy, so I was gonna talk about the rest of me and Mike. So when I came up to Escota, Mike we didn't talk really. We talked probably maybe once on the phone. And I texted him to make sure that my stuff was okay at his house and told him that I would probably be down there soon to come get it. And so then my mom's boyfriend had this bright idea that I was going to come downstate and live with my dad and basically, um, look for places to bartend at because I had gotten the academy certificate. I completed the program and everything. And so then I went around to places to try and bartend at. And one of the places that he suggested, because he told me all these places to go and try and check, one of the places he suggested was BT's. So I went there. And I told the guy I wanted to bartend. And he said, he looked me up and down. And he said to me, oh, no, you can dance. And so then I got a hold of Mike because he didn't really want to see me after he'd gone down there to get my stuff. My dad took me over there and he didn't really, he was really standoffish to me. He wasn't really trying to talk to me or anything. So then after I left this little interview with the guy, I got my cab driver or whatever. And I text Mike and I tell him, that I'm about to, that I'm working at BT's now. And, and so then he's like, oh, he's like, well, if you want, we're all at the Silver Cricket if you want to come see us and see me. And he said, but I need a pack of cigarettes. So I had no money because I hadn't actually started working. I'd just been interviewed or whatever, and the guy basically said I could dance. So I had to borrow money from my cab driver. I had to ask him to borrow me $20, and he did. And I felt really bad for even asking him, but I had no money. So then I get the pack of cigarettes and he takes me to the Silver Cricket. He drops me off there. I go inside. Mike's fucking got this fucking stripper bitch on his lap and pretty much just paying attention to her, not even paying attention to me. Chris is there and so is BJ. Everybody, the whole crew's there. And so then I'm like upset because I got Mike his fucking cigarettes and he's like just ignoring me. So Chris is like, you can come outside with me. So we go outside to Chris's vehicle and we're just sitting there, talking or whatever. And he's asking me about my court date and whatever. I want to know what happened. And then Mike comes outside and he's like looking for this stripper. Like he's like, oh, she said she was gonna come outside and meet me. No, she fucking lied to you, motherfucker. So anyway, so we go back to their house and we're all standing around drinking. And he basically says to me, like, I'm not even really supposed to be talking to you because you're gonna snitch on my cousin. And I said, no, actually, I already went to court for that. And I told him that the whole thing was my idea. So your cousin's off the hook. Whatever he gets is going to be because of the fact that somebody else said he was there. I didn't even include him in it at all. I said it was all my idea. And he's like, oh, I didn't know that. And he's like, well, you want to come upstairs with me then? And I'm like, sure, And so then that was it. Then I stayed there again forever after that. I went to my dad's and got some money that I had saved there. And all my little stripper clothes that TJ had, my mom's boyfriend had sent me money with the cab driver again and sent me to go shopping for stripper clothes and stripper shoes, and the whole 9 yards. So then I basically just started working there from Mike's house. And then is when he tells me that he wants to get some stuff from his friend and he needs some money. So we go to his friend's and I have money and he's in there for a long time and he has heroin when he comes out. And so we do it together. And then I basically was the one because then one day he just didn't want to go to work. And so then I had to basically foot the bill. And so then, in the beginning I was I was willing, I would have done anything for him. And I did. And I was at BT's and I was going, on separate dates from people I met at BT's. They were picking me up and giving me money to do basically dates with them in hotels and stuff. And I just come home with the money and be like, okay. And he'd be like, okay, let's go to the hood. So then we ended up BJ ended up losing his house. And so then Mike's dad decides that he's going to put me and him up in an apartment. And so we're in an apartment and it was really good. It was so awesome when we first moved in there. It was like, oh, we got our own place together. Oh, me and my baby are so happy. Oh, he proposed to me. Oh, it was just like so great. I just was so happy to be with him. But then now we're both fucking getting dope sick and it's causing us to fight a lot. And so then, I'm leaving on these dates and coming back, but it might take me longer to come back. So, eventually I always came back with the money. Then we never paid our rent. We never paid it, not once while we were there. And so then I had violated probation and I was going to jail. I knew I had court and I was going to jail. And during all this time, like our house was basically like our apartment was like a bando. There was like trash everywhere. There was fucking flies in there because there was so many dirty dishes that we didn't even fucking deal with. Our bed had popped. So I was laying on just like a blanket pallet on the floor with another blanket over me when the police busted in the house and they were just like, oh, this is disgusting. And they arrested me. And then when I got out of jail, Mike was like, oh, well, we lost the place, but I got us a new place to stay. And it was this bando. And so basically, our relationship, it didn't actually start out based on drugs, I think, we actually had a real strong connection. When I would be with him, when we would be separated and we'd get back back in each other's presence or whatever, it would be like just coming home, and I feel like I already have a video about this, but, so then I was doing dates and getting the money and bringing it back to him. And he never really admitted that he knew what I was doing. Maybe he didn't want to know, but he had to have known because he had, he had been in that life already. And it was just, it was a real roller coaster, we would see each other and we'd just be like so in love with each other. And then if I nodded out, he would fucking run my pockets. He would steal my drugs, steal my paraphernalia and stuff. He would steal my money if I had that out too. He would leave me in spots, pass out, like I pass out, and he'd fucking just leave me there with who knows who was there. Dealers, fucking users. I remember I was like half even awake and I like kind of was passing out at the gas station and he walked me to some drug dealer's house that I don't know. It was like an apartment building or something. And we went there and I was barely conscious. And we get there and the guy says, oh, you sit down in this chair. And I fell asleep there. And when I woke up, the guy said that Mike had been gone for hours. And, we loved each other. Okay. And, I feel like a lot of people judge what Maddie and Gerald's relationship is like. But that's basically how mine and Mike's relationship was. We loved each other, but we loved drugs too. And that was so hard because the drugs always outweighed, each other. And I remember, that I would leave and he wouldn't want me to leave. And I would leave anyways because at that point, it was just there's so many fights, like he'd be like, oh, you fucking stupid whore, you're a fucking bitch, nasty fucking slut. And then I would go get the drugs and shit and come back and he'd be like, oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I love you. I didn't mean any of that, and I would have still kept doing it. I would have done that shit forever for him. But eventually I just got kind of tired of it because, here I am like selling my body and coming back with the money, and he wasn't even acting like it really mattered to him. Like, it was just like, oh, okay, let's go get the shit, and so, I mean, I could have fucking died. I got kidnapped so many fucking times down there, fucking taken to places against my will, and separated from him for so many times. Like, one time, him and his dad had picked me up from a fucking hospital that I had been taken to against my will. This is a crazy fucking situation. And then he was laughing like, oh, ha ha. He had all this money, and what was I doing? Why did I go wherever I was? And I said, I didn't go anywhere on my own. I sure didn't fucking do it on my own. And, of course, he didn't really usually believe me. He didn't believe, and I really feel like, now this may have been my fucking paranoia, but I really feel like he was in on a lot of that shit that was happening to me. And my phone is dying because it's cold now, so I gotta hold it down here. But yeah, I really do. I feel like he was somehow connected to all that fucking bad shit that was happening to me, because he had been down there before I even had been. So I know that he knew those people before I knew them. I mean, I feel like that he did. Even though when we first came down there, everybody thought we were fucking snitches because we looked so fucking nice. I mean, and so, then when I was up here trying to get clean, then he would say he was in rehab or whatever, and he would get so much money when he get out of rehab that he would be able to come up here with. And so one time he said he was gonna buy like 200 each of girl and boy and bring it up here. And then he ends up telling me, oh, well, he ended up doing it all, and that's why he didn't end up getting a hold of me. Like, he would just like drop off the face of the earth, and I wouldn't talk to him. And then I would call him, and he would act like it was an inconvenience to talk to me. And I know how it is when you're addicted, because I was like that too. But I mean, I didn't really want to talk to my family when I was fucking using. But it's different because I knew what the fuck he was doing. So then he would call me, and he'd be smoking crack on the phone with me. Or he would call me, and he'd be like, hold on a second, I'm in the bathroom right now. And I knew that meant that he was shooting up some dope right then. And when I was in rehab, he was actually on the phone with me in rehab, fucking smoking crack. And so, I mean, obviously this person that I thought that he was, that he really loved me and shit, maybe I don't know, it hurts me to even think like that there wasn't really love between us, because I know that there was. But I just feel like if he really actually like cared about me, that he wouldn't have done those things. He wouldn't have put me in that position when I'm trying to get clean, or even when I was down there. I mean, maybe I would have started fucking running the streets and selling my body for drugs, but maybe I wouldn't have. I don't